Hello, all you degenerate old schoolers, and welcome back to another episode of The Orb. Tonight we have round 3 of Lobster Con, the main old school event. If you're asking where round 2 went to, I have no idea. Either didn't record, or we'll call it an OBS failure. That being said, here's a quick look back at some of the memories from Lobster Con. Lots of great times had, including all the way upstairs. That's where you go if you play really poorly. I took a trip up there to play. Susan Van Camp did a great painting, but let's take a look at these decks. Here's Sam's deck for round number 3. He wants to plop down a land tax and an ivory tower, put as many cards in his hand as possible, keep them there with Library of Lang, and just when you least expect it, he's going to fire off a Tormont's Crypt, Time Twister. You lose a good chunk of your deck. He's okay with trading 1-for-1s, and then he takes over and just outright wins. He can outdraw you. He's got some options in the sideboard to bring in if he wants to do some damage, like Triskelions, the Saren Dibs, the Djinns, not the Freets. He's got extra creature control in the form of a Drop of Honey, Sylvan, and he can make more of a control package with those counterspells. So, quite the neat deck. I've seen a deck like this operate before. I've built one like it. I've only played it a couple times before I tore it apart. Too much thinking. That doesn't bode well for me. So, here's a look at his opponent's deck. And here's his opponent, Burgoa. His deck, play set of Curd Apes, 3 Scavenger Folk, play set of the Pixies, and after that, it's a play set of Dibs. They're nicely altered. He does have a ton of signatures. I think it looks like he's got one on every card there. He went wild with the ink, and I love it. Bolts, 1 Shatter for the just-in-case moments, 4 Side Blast, a Fireball, a bunch of the restricted cards, and a myriad of dual lands. In his board, he's got Energy Fluxes, Red Elemental Blast, Blue Elemental Blast, a Counterspell, Control Magic, love the Falling Star, Earthquake, Tranquility, a Hercules, and a Sylvan, and I believe a Detonate in there. So, well-rounded, quick, efficient deck. Just wants to stab in for the fastest 20 possible. His opponent's looking to gain as much life as possible, so this should be a good one. Let's move on to the games. So, Burgoa won the turkey throwing competition. He's on the play. His opponent, Sam, on the bottom of the screen, had to take a mulligan, so he's starting with 6. Burgoa fires down an Emerald, a Volcanic, a Soul Ring, what a start, and a Curd Ape. Curd Ape is only 1/1. He only has 3 cards left in hand. His opponent throws down a Ruby and an Ivory Tower, but only has 4 in hand. He's going to have to race against that Curd Ape. And Ancestral to refill his hand. That's a pretty solid move. Top tier play there. And he finds a Tropical, turning that Curd Ape into a 2/3 and swinging in for 2. So first blood of the game's been done. Sam drops down to 18. See if he has a follow-up play after attack. Looks like he does. Tapping Soul Ring. And Tropical. So he definitely fired out a Dib there. It is altered, kind of tough to see, but 3/4 flyer from Arabian Nights. That's bad news for his opponent. I believe his opponent gains 1 on upkeep there. So Sam runs back up to 19. Burgoa finds a Factory and swings in for 5. And a Time Walk. Oh, this is terrible news. Activating the factory, and here he comes for 7. Looks like Sam's down to 8 life. And he's not done much but play an ivory tower and a ruby out. Here comes a bolt. Drops him down to 5. Gains a few back from the ivory tower. And nothing to do. Wow. That's a tough game 1. It does happen. But that was a quick rush. So Burgoa takes game 1. These two will swap out some cards and move to game number 2. And here we go with game number 2. Sam's letting his opponent play first, even though he has the choice. Burgoa finds out fires out a tropical and a pass. Sam's got a plains followed by an ivory tower. So, I believe he still has 6 in hand. He'll start off immediately gaining life. His opponent, oh, look at that, finds a shatter. Volcanic into a shatter. Gets that ivory tower out of there. Once you gain a few life on a very quick deck against a very quick deck, it can take you a long ways away from letting them win. Sam's finding an island, soul ring, and powers out a chaos orb. See a factory hit the board. Tap 2. Argothian Pixies is out. Although it's not impervious to Chaos Orb, it is impervious to all artifact damage. And there's an immediate Swords to Plowshare. Burgoa runs up to 22 life. And here's a new Ivory Tower. Sam only has 3 cards in hand, though. Oh, look at this. Sam's strip mining out Burgoa's factory. Although he probably doesn't need the extra mana sources, I'm sure he likes the added pressure. But he immediately replaces it with a new factory, shoves down a ruby, plays out a scavenger folk. So I think he's trying to force his opponent's hand, tell him it's time to do something with the Chaos Orb, otherwise he's going to eat it later with that folk. Ooh, Burgoa attacking the mana base of his opponent, stripping out the plains. Yeah, tries to take out the Chaos Orb. Sam's activating. Oh no, it's a miss. That is tough. Factory stays on board. The rest is tapped, and a new dib hits play. Burgoa takes 1, runs back down to 21, and here he comes in for 5, dropping his opponent down to 15. And look at this, another time walk. This is devastating. Burgoa drops down to 20, swings in for another 5, drops his opponent straight to 10. His opponent needs some mana sources. He is left with just 1 island and a soul ring. Here comes another 5 in at lightning speed. His opponent does gain 1 off the ivory tower up to 6. But Burgoa's cracking in for 5 a turn. That's a race he can't really win at this pace. Yeah, putting him down to 1. And just to pass, he runs up to 3. Needs to pick a swords and a...
You're kidding! Judge.
White mana source, but doesn't have it. That's it. So game number 2 goes to Burgoa. He takes round 3 down. at Lobstercon. Just a heads up, there will be an extra match. I'm not going to commentate on it, but other matches were played on camera, so I'm going to let that run here. If you guys want to watch, you can. As always, thanks for watching The Orb.